It is 9:45 Athens time. That would be 9:45 Kiev time and 10:45 Moscow time in the morning on Sunday. Sunday morning, 9:45, 10:45 Moscow, 9:45 Kiev. And I thought I would get another update out to everybody as to what's going on in Ukraine, and just get the news that I've been keeping up on out to all of you. Of course, I will always preface this video by saying what I report in the morning could change very easily as the day progresses. So just keep in mind that everything that I say can change, and everything is fluid and moving really, really fast. So the first thing that I want to talk about is the fact that SWIFT, the EU, the US, the collective West, let's call it the collective West, has decided to cut off SWIFT from already sanctioned Russian banks. Now that's the key. This is a statement from Germany, at least. Germany has said that they have decided to cut off SWIFT from already sanctioned Russian banks. So it's kind of like, they've gone to punch Russia, but they pulled their punch. They didn't quite, put all their force into that punch by cutting off SWIFT entirely from Russia. And of course, the main reason is obviously the gas, which is still flowing, the energy. None of that is stopped throughout this whole thing. The energy and the gas and all of that is still running, including from Ukraine, including from those Ukraine pipelines. So, they were going to deliver a heavy blow to Russia by cutting them off entirely from SWIFT. But what they've done is they've pulled their punches a little bit, and they've just sanctioned. They've removed Russian banks that have already been sanctioned from SWIFT. It's still a very, very big move, and it's going to be a move that will begin the process of finding alternative messaging platforms. Remember, SWIFT is a messaging system where you clear the transactions. And so what's going to happen now is that in order for countries, institutions, whatever, in order to get your work done, and say to buy Russian gas or to buy commodities, natural resources, all these things that Russia is a major player on the world market, a major player. I mean, this is not Iran. This is Russia, a major player. In order to get your business done, you're going to go to alternative platforms, alternative messaging systems. It's a little windy, so if the audio is a little messed up, I apologize for that. I did not bring a wind guard or a dead cat. So anyway, let's see how it turns out. I'll try to work some magic in post to get the audio right if the wind is messing things up. But God, that is a lot of pigeons. Anyway, the world continues to move, everybody. The world continues to move. So yeah, that's what's going on. This has opened the door to increase the use of alternative messaging platforms. A lot of people are saying, well, 11,000 financial institutions use SWIFT, only 80 use alternatives. Well, that's going to increase. That's going to increase a lot, because once again, Russia is a major player, and people are going to need those resources. They're going to. That is windy. Let me wait for the wind to die down a little. If it does, there we go. Yeah, they're gonna need to get those resources, and so the 80 institutions that are hooked up on alternative messaging systems, it's going to turn to 160, then it'll turn to 300 and 600 and 1,000. And how are they going to settle those transactions? Not in USD. So this is a major move. This is a major bungle from the European Union and from the Biden administration. You know, it's almost as if, and I'm just going to throw something out there. This is complete speculation on my part, but I kind of get the feeling at times that the Biden administration, which is obviously, when I say Biden, I mean the machinery, not actual Biden, obviously, but the Biden White House and administration is almost deliberately looking to push the U.S. economy into some sort of a recession, understanding that they've already lost the midterms, understanding that this war will eventually end and people will forget about it, and the Republicans are going to come in and they're going to have a huge majority, but they are going to be running the United States at a time of deep, deep recession, high energy prices. Guys, gas is going to go through the roof. Petrol, diesel is going to go through the freaking roof. It's almost like the Biden White House is saying, you know what? We have 9 months, say, till midterms. We have 9 months. We know that the Republicans are going to win no matter what. They're going to sweep the board no matter what. But we still have a chance in 2024 if we make the situation for the Republicans that are coming in really, really awful. Just a thought. This may be the strategy to save the Democrats in 2024 by making it really hard on the Republicans, because when this war ends, it'll end next week, when all of this ends, you know, come November, the Republicans are going to be holding the bag for an economy in a United States which is going to be in recession, a Europe that's going to be in deep, deep recession, hyperinflation, and the media is going to start putting the blame on the Republicans as they gear up for 2024. Anyway, that's I kind of went off on a tangent there, but the point being is that this is going to really, really backfire and really hurt the collective West in a big, big way. Average, citizens of Europe and the U.S. and Canada, Australia, it's going to really, really hurt us. And another way of looking at it, this may be what Russia wanted all along as well, and China, of course. You look at China. This may have been the plan all along as well, knowing that the hysteria of people like Boris Johnson and Biden and Schultz, and Macron, all these people, Morrison, Trudeau, their hysteria would drive them to actually pull the trigger on SWIFT. Once again, they haven't gone all the way, but they've taken the first step. And that hysteria would mean the beginning of the end for the USD. Anyway, just some thoughts out there. So that's SWIFT. And we'll see if they go all the way. I said they pulled their punch. We'll see if they decide to really hit hard and remove all of Russia from SWIFT. Travel is going to become impossible. Everybody, which is another thing that, maybe the globalists are kind of happy about that. But, look, Belarus airspace is closed. Europe airspace is closed towards Russia. Someone's yelling up there. Belarus airspace is closed. Russian airspace is closed. Pretty soon Ukraine airspace is going to be closed. Europe is closed to Russia. The prices of gas and petrol is going to go up. Travel is going to become very, very, very difficult. Expect a lot of airlines to need a lot of money from the government to get saved. Expect a lot of airlines to close down and shut down. A lot of layoffs, a lot of routes. A lot of routes are going to be closed, especially routes going to Asia. The Asian companies are going to win out. We're seeing the powers, the world powers, power dynamics shifting from west to east. That is exactly what we are seeing. We are in the middle of witnessing a major shift in geopolitical and economic power, and it's going to all go east. So that's SWIFT. A little bit on travel. What's going on in Ukraine right now with the actual war is, from what I understand, it's I don't want to say it's static. There was a pause because the Kremlin, Putin gave orders to pause the operations because they actually thought that Zelensky was ready to sit down, but that turned out to be a bluff. I think that was deliberate, probably to buy Zelensky some time, maybe buy him time so that it's getting a little windy again. Maybe buy him some time so that he can evacuate. There are reports that he's in Lviv right now. There are reports that the United States wants to get him to the U.S., probably to set up some sort of Juan Guaido government in exile. I mean, who knows? I don't have any confirmation of that one way or another. I will say all the videos that Zelensky is putting out have probably been recorded days or weeks before. So if he's putting out a video and he's in a certain location, I wouldn't buy it. That was probably recorded days or weeks in advance. Kiev is slowly but surely being surrounded. The Azov battalion and the Ukraine military in the east, they've been effectively surrounded as well. In other words, the cauldron that they were creating, the encirclement, that cauldron has now closed. And they're going to start to, for lack of a better word, since it's a cauldron, they're going to start to cook those soldiers in a way. They're just going to start to boil. And those soldiers are either going to have to surrender or they're going to have to fight their way out, and there is not going to be a way to fight their way out. So once the army in the east is decapitated one way or another, they're rendered useless. The Russians would like them to surrender, but I think the neo-NAZI forces will not surrender. But once that happens, you've got about 60,000 Ukraine military out of the game, and that'll be huge. They also can't provide support west either. I mean, they're completely cut off. So that's been sealed up. Mariupol has been surrounded. There's going to be some fierce fighting there because you have a very dug-in Azov battalion there. So they're going to fight. That'll get difficult. The Russians are moving very quickly towards Dnipro. It used to be called Dnipropetrovsk. And it's been shortened to Dnipro, so the Russians are moving there as well to surround that. Basically, the strategy is crystal clear. It looks like they're going to surround the cities, the major cities, and the Russians are going to wait. Scott Ritter and Alexander Mercuris have called this a very soft operation. The Russians went in very soft. They didn't go in there to break everything and to destroy everything. They went in there to keep everything intact. And they've been very careful to keep everything intact. Gonzalo Lira today said something very, very interesting as well, which I think really puts stuff in context. He said that the Russians have tiptoed into Ukraine, so that's a nice use of words. They've tiptoed into Ukraine because they don't want to conquer Ukraine. And these are Gonzalo's words, but I think it's important, and maybe it'll help you guys to understand what's going on. They don't want to conquer Ukraine. They want to capture Ukraine. They want to capture it intact. They want to capture the military. They want to capture the people, but they want to capture them intact. They don't want to conquer them. They don't want to destroy it, which is why you have the communications, the internet, electricity, all of that has been kept intact. I think that's a good way of looking at it. This is not about conquering, it's about capturing. And the final thing I want to say is that this conflict, this war, is I think this is for technology purposes. This is the conflict where Telegram becomes the dominant service. So, Twitter's a cesspool of just idiots blathering. Facebook, okay, I don't think anyone even uses Facebook anymore. Let me go in here where there's maybe less wind. Yeah, this will be good, I think. It's like an abandoned mall. It feels like it's an abandoned mall. Yeah, a lot of closed shops in Greece. A lot of shut down infrastructure. Welcome to the EU. This is what the Ukraine wanted. This is what Ukraine wanted to get into. The European Union, where all the small businesses just shut down. But like an abandoned shopping mall in the center of Athens. But and I remember this mall, like maybe 20 years ago, used to be hopping. Now it's just nothing. So yeah, this is the conflict where Telegram rises to be the dominant platform. Twitter's useless, Facebook's useless. Telegram is where everyone's getting all their information, and that's good because, you know, Telegram is run by a team that is not so much into big tech, at least what I know. I mean, these guys are outsiders in a way, and I believe they're Pavel Durov, I think is Pavel Durov, I think, and his brother, and yeah, these guys are kind of, you know, just like like outsiders who are just have created really cool platforms. They did VKontakte, and now they have Telegram, and they've had their run-ins with the Russian government and the Russian oligarchs as well. So, you know, these guys are kind of like, you know, I don't want to glorify them, make them Hollywood-like, but, you know, they're kind of like rebellious entrepreneurs in a way. But anyway, this is the war of Telegram. Telegram has taken the lead. Telegram has become the reliable source for information. Twitter's a cesspool. Facebook is junk. You know, Facebook is falling apart. Facebook is really falling apart. I wouldn't be surprised if in a couple of years Facebook is done and kaput. Facebook has gone the way of MySpace. But there are some shops that are still operating here. It's not all bad. It's not all shut down. And it is a Sunday, it's closed, but a lot of shops here are just abandoned in this kind of deserted shopping mall. It should be operating today, though. I mean, you know, I'm the only one here. Yeah. So yeah, that's the video, everybody. I mean, you know, this will end quickly, and that's, I think, the best outcome, because the more this festers, the more something could go awfully wrong, and you could get some sort of conflict with NATO. I mean, unexpected things happen, and this is a very, very dangerous situation. But right now, I think you're just seeing the gradual encirclement of cities. And the Russians, like Scott Ritter says and Alexander says, are going in soft, or as Gonzalo Lira says, they're tiptoeing in, because they don't want to conquer, they want to capture. But and Telegram is now, in my opinion, the number one messaging platform, short messaging platform on the internet. Goodbye Twitter, goodbye Facebook. Telegram is the new king. And what else? There were some comments made by various analysts why the Russians didn't at least cut off the internet. You know, at the very least, I think the Russians didn't cut off the internet because they want information out there. Obviously they don't want people to panic. They want people to have internet, but they also want information out there. You know, they want people to be talking about this story, because you have so much propaganda, which is controlled by big tech and by the West. But if you shut down the internet access in Ukraine, then, you know, at least you don't get some of the outliers that are bypassing the propaganda via applications like Telegram and presenting a different story to what you're getting from the censorship of big tech and deep state control. So I think that's why they have no plans to shut down the internet. You know, they're going to keep it open so that there are people that can use platforms like Telegram to get out objective content to people. And if you're not on Telegram, then you're not. If you're not on Telegram, you're not getting the reality and the truth of what's happening. And a good place to start on Telegram is to follow, you know, someone who's in Kiev on the ground right now, and that is Gonzalo Lira. So real CRP. He's on the ground. He's in Kiev. So I think that's a good source. But there's a lot of sources, whether you're pro Ukraine or Russia or West or wherever you lie on the spectrum. There are a lot of sources on Telegram that you can plug into, and I think I'll wrap it up there. We're going to wait and see, and the encirclement and the tiptoeing and capturing of Ukraine. We'll wait and see how it unfolds. But there's no doubt the longer this festers, the more of a risk all of this becomes. This is kind of a long video. I gave you guys kind of a tour of Athens. In a way, a lot of graffiti here and a lot of noise. Today is a lot of winds. Anyway, I'm going to sign out, everybody. The Duran.locals.com. Check out Alexandra's channel. Check out the Duran. Check out my channel. Take care.